Stormy here is a lovely little cat that is sadly back at the shelter for the second time. First because of the landlords and then later because she was not introduced properly to the other pets at home. Here is a cat that is the oldest resident of the shelter, and as you can see, the calmness is actually very dangerous because it holds a silent message. He probably needed those scratches and love as he might be deprived of them. Kylo is a nice cat as he waits for the others to have their fill so he can start eating, but however, by the time everyone is done, there is nothing left for him, and it goes to show how difficult it can be for shelters to ensure everyone gets their fill. When you change houses again and again like Sasha, you tend to grow weary and distrustful of everyone because you do not know when you will be kicked out again. Sasha is no different from this as she hisses and does not want anyone to become close to her. This cat is now more lonely than ever as its best friend has passed away, and all she does every day is lay in her small bed and not come out. As if life in the shelter was not tough enough, it just got tougher for this poor girl. All the cats at this shelter had been adopted by people, all except for poor old Belle. She is 8 years old, and that makes her a very senior cat. She is scared and alone as nobody is here with her and would like to be adopted as soon as she can. Chester here is new to the shelter, and this lady explains to us why he is aggressive. Of course, nobody wants a change in their life, but Chester had no other option but to come here.
Cats don't like change in the first place, so when you're struggling to get seen and you're at the shelter for 20, 30, 40, 50 days plus, you really start to deteriorate.
Sometimes these poor cats come in boxes that look like this, and people leave them with their favorite toys so they can have a little memory of home along with them. Even when you have a number of cats at the shelter, there is always a chance that they will increase in number, as this mother cat gave birth to about 8 photocopies of her in the Jeep of this woman.
Oh my goodness, hi. I know.
Nettie here is part of a group of 34 cats that were surrendered to a shelter. Imagine taking on such a big load of abandoned pets all of a sudden. They have been well taken after, but still, not as much as they would be cared for in their own homes. This one is excited after coming home to her new owner as she jumps and sits everywhere she can and seems to be having a very fun and cozy time. This cat had found a new place to live and would not move from the front porch of these people. She was there all day, but they could not let her in because they had a dog. They slowly became very close to her as they made her a small home and gradually shifted her to the garage after finally, they gave her away to a family that wanted a cat. It is never too late to adopt a cat and gain a new family member. That feeling of getting one is always a heartwarming and empowering one, so if you want to feel the same, do take a chance and adopt one. Even senior cats like Mr. Stark here often end up in the shelter due to negligence from their owners. He has been microchipped, but the owner seems to have changed their number, and that makes it impossible to contact him. A shelter is not a place for a senior cat to live out their days. Before you adopt a cat, make sure that you are not allergic to cats so you don't end up returning them. Jack and Rose here had the same issue not once but twice, as their owners were allergic to felines. Imagine spending 17 years of your cat's life, which is about 84 human years, at a loving and caring home, only to be thrown out at the end as something nobody should go through, and poor Cubbie here has to go through all of that. The people at the shelter are trying their level best to do everything for her. Despite her popularity, nobody seems to be interested in adopting such a senior cat. Luckily, someone came through and opted to give her a nice place in her final years to rest and play.
I want all of you guys to say hello to this beautiful girl. Her name is Cubbie, and she is 17 years young. Cubbie came to us after her owner passed away, and the owner's husband was no longer able to take care of her. She is super laid back, absolutely sweet, as you can tell, and she's ready to find her final destination, if you'd like to say that.
Sasha, the cat we talked about previously, is back after being adopted. She was found alone and left behind in an apartment when the owner was evicted from the premises. They could not care for her anymore and told the shelter to keep her. Out of 15 cats in total, Billy and Lolly are 2 cats that had been surrendered after the owner left them all behind for her boyfriend to take care of. It might be a lot for the shelter, but we can help by taking a few under our wings. Here is another senior cat named Bolly who is 14 years old. Her owner got arrested after a DUI. He was driving with her in the back seats and surrendered her as goodwill. She is up for adoption, so if you are not an alcoholic, you might want to come and get her. On the other hand, we have Hades, who is a 1-year-old cat that was adopted as a kitten but brought back after his owner realized that she was allergic to cats. Eva and her 2 other buddies were also handed over to the shelter when their owner sadly passed away in an accident. Imagine losing someone and then being handed over to stay without the love and care that you were once getting. These 2 senior cats were also let go of when the owner's daughter developed an allergy to cats. The cats are dazed and confused as to what had suddenly gone wrong, but we can bring their youth back once again. In the end, however, they were taken in by someone who knew what they were going through. In a horrible incident, Sorrento and 2 other cats were found in a crate, wrapped in a trash bag by the staff of this shelter. But there is always a calm after the storm as well, and these 3 have been adopted. Tauranga along with many other cats were taken in by this shelter when the owner was evicted from their premises. They are scared, hungry and want love like they once had, and now is our chance to show them that there is plenty out there. Tauranga had to be taken into a foster home and is now doing a lot better than before. As you can see, the shelter is not a place for these cats to be in, as their mental health and condition are getting worse day by day. They are getting angrier and more impatient.
Strike in fear, you can see it in their eyes. The shelter environment for many animals that come in can be a traumatic experience. These babies will require compassion and kindness to gain their trust back in a loving home.
Why do people keep so many cats at a time, especially when they are not the owners of the property? Cheddar, Chuck and Charlie were part of 30 cats that were taken into the shelter after the owner got evicted. With a name like Simba, you might expect the cat to be brave, but the shelter environment brings out the soft in all of them. Somebody left Starburst along with 2 other cats at the parking of this clinic, and well, safe to say they are not fans of the shelter. Even treats are not working for them.
I know.
Imagine turning in your cat because you think they are too shy and always hiding. Here is a reminder to be patient with adopted cats as they need time to settle in a new environment. Thankfully, she was quickly adopted by someone who knew what to do. Katie, along with her 2 dog friends, were surrendered at this shelter as the owner could not take them abroad with them. She seems like a cat who would not let you stop cuddling her, so please, consider looking into this. Upon coming to their new destination, these cats tend to be very ferocious or very shy, and Mr. Cuddles here is the latter as he meows softly, not wanting to come out. Bernie here is the exact opposite of Cuddles, who is just confused and angry about what and why happened to him. Which furry friend stole your heart? Share your favorite clip in the comments below, and while you're there, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel with notifications turned on. Don't miss out on our future videos. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next one.